friends. It's Laura Godwin here, Cincy Superstar Director from Georgia. I am super honored to talk to you guys as you are hustling to director. Thank you, Patricia, for this opportunity. I am going to chat with you today about your goals versus your dreams. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story so you know a little bit more about me. I'm not just getting in here just telling you what to do, but that I am sharing my heart with you. I want you to not look at me as an SSD. I don't want you to look at me as someone that's been in Cincy for uber years. I don't want you to think of me as anything other than your older, maybe wiser Cincy sister, okay? The one that you would go to for advice if it were maybe somebody that had been putting on makeup for a little bit longer than you, or maybe someone that had, I don't know, some extra know-how in the fashion department or decorating department or gardening. I feel like that we should align ourselves with people that have been where we're wanting to go, and I hope I'm that person for you. So, again, thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm going to jump right in. This is a big topic to cover in just a little amount of time, and so I hope I do it justice. A little bit about me. I am, at heart, very introverted and shy. I started Cincy in 2009, 13 years ago. I'm a kidnapper. Anybody else? I don't know. I'm a kidnapper. I just got into it for the kit. I had failed at direct sales earlier in my life and had given it my all, like super, very much all in, and I tried really hard and I bombed really badly, and it let me know right off the bat that I was not going to be a direct seller. I wasn't one of those people that people like to follow. I didn't work well with others. Like adult women scare me. I worked with kids. I had always worked with kids, and kids were my happy place. And so I thought that maybe Cincy would be the same way. I went into it, told my sponsor and director, I was like, hey, I'm not going to be one of those people that walk stage. I am not going to be one of those leaders that are in charge of people and, do webinars, and I won't have any awards. And I'm so sorry if that is what this is about, then I'm going to go ahead and tell you right off the bat, this isn't for me. And I went into it with that mindset because of fear, and also because of lack of experience in a direct sales company as awesome as Cincy. And there are so many little amazing parts of this story that I'm cutting out for sake of time. But guys, Cincy was different. You know that. It was way different, and I thrived. I thrived being my weird, socially awkward, introverted self. I thrived because of the products. I thrived because of the community. I thrived because of our core values. I didn't just stay. I rocked at this, and it had nothing to do with me because remember, I had already been down this path before and didn't do well. So I'm telling you, it was nothing to do with Laura. It was everything to do with what Cincy is at its root, at the core. What Cincy is, that's what the difference was. So fast forward 13 plus years, I've earned every annual incentive trip. I've always gotten paid at title every single month of my Cincy journey. I hit director in 6 months and a superstar director a year later. I get to work with the coolest people, and you're going to hear later, that is my best advice, and in my opinion, the reason why I've been so successful at Cincy is because of the people. And I do believe that my favorite part of Cincy is helping other people up where I am, and that's been my kind of goal or dream since the very beginning. It just is really cool that we are always reaching and we're always growing, and then that gives us a new opportunity to help more people. The moment you get stagnant and the moment you get stale and you are kind of like in a rut, you're unable to help new people because you're only able to help the people get to where you are. And if you've already helped them there, then you have to keep growing. And that is honestly really what propels me forward and helps me try to stay on my A game is the opportunity that, man, there's going to be new people that are going to want to know how to do new things. And will I be the one that can guide them and help them? Because maybe I have, not really stayed up on my A game. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's a little bit about me professionally, a little bit about me personally. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I homeschool. My boy is 15. He was 2 when we started Cincy. He has been homeschooled all the way up. That was my goal and dream, I told everybody else's kids, I'm a former kindergarten teacher. I wanted to teach my own. I love animals. I'm a big, oh my gosh, animals are my heart. I also am super into nutrition. I'm a nutrition coach. I just got certified last year. I own a CrossFit box. I just did that 2 years ago. And so, man, my life is just so rich. We are very, very involved in church and our community and some nonprofits and charities. And I get super excited about how many ways I get to serve people in my everyday life. Like, it feels like a dream, but it is my life and I love it. And so serving is the anthem of my heart. It has been even when I was a little girl. I can remember being the happiest when I was getting to do something for other people. And I am so grateful that as an adult, much older, I still am able to give back to others. And we make a paycheck for doing that. So how about that, right? So anyway, golly, my favorite hobby is to take naps. Yep, it's a free hobby, doesn't cost you any money, and you feel so good afterwards. So that's been my life's hobby, is to take naps. I'm super outdoorsy. I would rather be outside than in. I don't really like to watch TV, so I don't have any favorite movies or anything like that. But gosh, I love to eat. I'm a foodie. I don't know. We'll stop there because I have so much to talk about. All right, so let's get into this goals versus dreams. I feel like that this is a pretty well-known topic. I don't think I'm going to wow you with anything today. I hope that I'm just that bigger sister talk that maybe gets you back on track on what you already know is right. And I hope to give you some ideas along the way that maybe you haven't tried before, or maybe you tried but didn't stay consistent long enough to see results. That's my goal for today. I don't think I'm going to tell you anything you've never heard before because you are in an amazing Cincy family. So, when I think of dreams, I think of involuntary action. I think of sitting around daydreaming. I had dreams whenever I was just a little girl about being a veterinarian. I put no action to that. I was in 2nd and 3rd grade. My dreams were very, they were big and beautiful. I did not become a vet, but I remember dreaming that. I also remember dreaming about being a gymnast. I remember dreaming about so many different things. And my biggest thing is when I think about times in my life when I have been dreaming, it required no action on my part. Maybe not so long ago, I dreamed about owning a Range Rover. Maybe not so long ago, I dreamed about having a home in a better area and more woods and more windows. And when I was dreaming about all of these things, that PS did come to pass, yay. But when I was dreaming about them, it required no action on my part, involuntary, I was kicked back in neutral having these dreams. And if that's where they would have stayed, and that's where I would have still been in neutral with them, then I would not have them to this day, right? Which is why I didn't become a vet. And which is why I also did not become a gymnast. Not telling you anything that you don't already know, but in my mind, when you shift and make that mental voluntary shift from something becoming just a dream to something becoming a goal, you have to put action to it. It requires action. It requires, in my opinion, planning. And then, of course, doing. Because when you set a goal, it needs a timeline. It needs, when do you want to do that goal by? Like if I would have set the goal to be a vet, then I would have needed to make sure that I was, in the right college at the right time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't just sit back. A dream is like, oh, well, if it happens, that would be cool. But there's no like rush to it. There's no timeline for it. A goal, man, this needs to happen by this date. And when you say that, then you know that there are required actions on your part. And so I believe that a goal requires action, but I also believe, and I'm going out on a limb here, I hope you follow me. I believe that a goal requires people and purpose. So I'm going to talk about those three things with you today. And I hope that it strikes a chord in your heart and gets you a little bit ignited about your journey to director and beyond, okay? Because, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. All right, so a goal requires action, people, and a purpose. I'm going to go backwards as I work through this. So we're going to start with purpose. Why do you want to become a director? Is it just to have that title? Is that title so big and beautiful to you that you are hell-bent on getting there? Did you set this goal of being director just because of that title? Because I want you to think about my little girl goal of becoming a veterinarian. If being a veterinarian, saying that Laura Godwin, veterinarian, if that was the only purpose of my goal, don't you think that would be kind of superficial? Don't you think that that would kind of probably not get me through the hard times of vet school? I guess they go to vet school. I don't even know. Do you think that that would get me through the major challenges that would come at me in my journey to becoming a veterinarian? I believe that a lot of us are chasing a goal just because of the title, just because of how it's going to make us look, how it's going to make us sound, how it's going to make us feel. And that might not be enough to make us do all the hard work or to get us through the bad days. And don't tell yourself for even 1 second that there is not going to be major hurdles and challenges that are going to hit you right between the eyes. There are going to be days that you don't want to work your Scentsy business. There are going to be times where you want to absolutely take the entire weekend off because you cannot stand something that's happening on your team. Being a director isn't without problems. Being a Scentsy consultant isn't. Sometimes we have grouchy customers, and likewise your team. So if you're just chasing a title, honey, you may get super discouraged and be unable to get yourself out of that because you have been I'm going to say you've not been thorough with your dream. You've not been thorough with your goal. You've not been thorough with the bigger picture. So right now I want you to, even if you have to pause this, I want you to stop for a second. I want you to think bigger than the title director. I want you to think about the purpose of director. Why are you wanting this? What's the purpose of it? What are you going to get out of it? And what are you going to be able to put into it to give to others? When it's all said and done, even on your worst day, what's the value that's going to come out of you having hit director? That's where your purpose comes in. And if you can't fill in that blank, I think that you need to stop for just a second and make your heart and your mind come together there and form your purpose. Because that's what's going to take you not to director, but straight up to the superstar director mark. And guess what? Superstar director isn't anything either. It's what we can do as superstar directors. It's who we can serve. It's how we can make the world a better place. That six-figure paycheck, that multiple six-figure paycheck, that, oh my gosh, I could just go on and on. What's that about? Your purpose should be the foundation as you hustle to director. Okay? All right, so we said requires action, people, and purpose, and we're working backwards. So purpose was first, now we're going to people. So I believe that every new chance to level up will come with the right people to help you level up. So I look back in my life, and even in my non-Scentsy life, even in my regular, personal life, and I see that within even just a few short years of a big chance for me to level up in any area of my life, I will notice that there have been people in my life that have helped me on that journey, helped me inspire me, helped me give me knowledge, helped me know the way, or sometimes even the what not to do way. I mean, really. I look back, and even before I had kids, God put some really cool people in my life that had little ones, and I watched them. Even before I had kids, even before I was married, I'm a better mom because they were in my life before I had my son, Luke. I go back and even, oh my gosh, you guys, I could just go on and on. When I first became a teacher, and I remember that first teaching year, I was so I was so excited, but I also knew that I was in over my head. But thankfully, a few years prior to that, I had some really cool influences. Veteran teachers that had been teaching for years. I'm talking about like 20 and 30 years. And I wonder today what kind of teacher I would have been without their influence and without me being able to say that they were, in my circle of five. And I just want to ask you right now, are the people that you're aligning yourself with on a daily basis, the ones that you've got on speed dial, the ones that they're always in the top 10 read messages on your social media or on your phone, are those people helping you to your next level of director? Or are they hindering that path? And I hate to be like that person, but I love you enough to be that person. If they're not helping you, then they're hindering you. There's rarely a neutral. And I'm not saying that every single person in your life needs to be a Scentsy director. Okay, come on, right? But I want to say that they should be helping you on that journey. So even if it's a best friend, they should be a positive light for you as you make that journey, not a negative. If they're pulling your energy out and they're not replacing it, or if there's constantly drama or issues or whatever, the people in your life that are emptying your cup instead of filling them, then I think you need to ask God to realign you with people that are going to help you level up to the next big you. And right now we're talking about hustling to director. So I think that you need to make sure that you are constantly being in the presence of people that help you level up to that amazing title of director. And it doesn't always mean, like I said, that they have to have been a director. Sometimes my pastor says something at church that helps me be a better superstar director. Crazy, right? But he does. And I am so grateful that I have his influence in my life, because I know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, I'm a better director because I have him in my life and I'm listening to him. And I know that I could say that about so many different relationships. And so I just want you to reevaluate, even if you have to pause real quick, go look at your last 10 messages. And outside of your team and customers, really take inventory. And I don't really think there's going to be many grays. I don't really think there's going to be iffies. I think you're going to be able to go through there and be like, good for me, not good for me. Good for me, not good for me. Good for me, not good for me. I'm not saying you cut and unfriend. I don't think I've ever cut anyone out of my life. I don't think I've ever unfriended anyone. I feel like that by just naturally gravitating towards people that are sunshine, you weed out the people that aren't. They don't want to talk to you if you're not feeding into their negativity, right? They don't reach out to you all the time if they can't get a listening ear for their drama. And so, I don't know, I'll let you decide on that. But I just want you to know that I believe that there are people that are going to help you level up, and I want you to find them, okay? Because this journey is so much bigger than us. So much bigger than us. And then guess what? We also get to be an influence to others. And so when I say people, it's kind of two-part. We need to make sure that we are aligning ourselves with the right people. But then I have to ask you right now, if you could tell me 5 people that you've changed their life for the better in the last 5 days, could you name them? 5 people in 5 days? If you're struggling right now to think of those 5 names, I want to ask you from the bottom of my heart, why should God bless you with a bigger influence and a bigger platform if you're not utilizing the platform that you have now? Why should you get a bigger gift if you're neglecting the gift that you already have. This is hard, but it's the kind of questions that I ask myself almost every single day, because I know that I don't deserve more unless I'm utilizing what I have and unless I'm making the most of the opportunities that I have now. We always want to say, oh, when I get this, I'm going to do that. But you're telling the tale right now. You're telling the tale right now. We can already see what you're going to do at the director level by what you do now. I have people under my team, I have to tell you. I have people under me in my team. I have to tell you, sometimes they make me giggle. Because they say to me, oh, Laura, when I become a superstar consultant, I'm going to, and then whatever they say. And I just kind of I have a hard time answering that, because I want to say to them, oh, honey, wait. If you're a lead consultant with 30 customers and 5 team members, and you can't find time to be a blessing to your team or communicate or do whatever, and you struggle to get to 500 with 30 customers, then being a superstar consultant where you have, let's just say, 30 people under you and 100 customers, you're going to serve them better? I don't know. I can't say that it works that way. If you're struggling now to serve the people that you already have, then why in the world would you be telling the universe or the stars or whoever you believe in, why would you be telling God that you deserve more? I don't know. Show that you are able to handle and work at what you have, and I believe that you'll be a magnet for more. Okay, we're moving on, I promise. I could spend so much time on each of these 3. So we talked about the purpose, we talked about the people, and now I want to leave you with requiring action. So goals require action. I think that in order to do any big thing in life, we need a game plan. And I believe that you'll get to where you're going faster with less frustration if you are, you have a purpose and you have a plan and you know the way. Okay. I went on a hike yesterday with a friend. She had never been here before. And, what should have taken 15 minutes took about an hour, and it was about an hour and 25 minutes. Yeah, an extra hour. We got lost. And bad lost. I got lost, and she was just, trying to follow me. And I think about a lot of times it takes us extra long to get to our goals in Cincy, I believe, because we don't have good action plans. Or we think that we can get there doing what we've been doing, and we can't. Because in my mind, each new level is going to require something more from you. Do you know what that more is? If you don't, it's okay. Yesterday, I needed a map. Yesterday, I needed a guide. Yesterday, I needed my Google Maps to have dropped a pin where we were going. I needed help. And that doesn't make me a bad hiker. It doesn't make me a bad person. I mean, I don't know if my friend will ever want to go hiking with me again, but you know what I mean? Will I go hiking again? Did I deserve to go hiking yesterday? Heck yes. And you deserve to go to director. But honey, you may get less frustrated and it take less time if you have a goal, if you have a plan. Okay, so, and that's what this Hustle to Director program, I believe, is all about. I believe that you're all going to be just so blessed because of this. And I do want to say that just like we were trying to hike to these little rapids, there were probably 4 or 5 different routes that could have taken us there. Okay, but so it wasn't just one path would have taken me there. I had multiple different ways, and likewise in Cincy, you don't have to just follow Laura Godwin's way. Heck, you might hate my way. You don't have to just follow Patricia's way. You might not align with her style. You don't have to just follow this person or that person. Thankfully, in what we do, we can be our authentic selves, and we can take a little bit of Laura and a little bit of Patricia and a little bit of this person, a little bit of that person. We can put all of their ideas into one, but we can't get so overwhelmed that we go in circles instead of going the path. Because if you try to do everything that Laura does, everything that Patricia does, everything that Stacy does, everything that I could go on and on, you are going to be so overwhelmed and frustrated and burned out. I want to say that leadership is simple. It is literally living by the freaking golden rule. Doing for others what you want them to do for you. Showing them what you're doing. A lot of times your team doesn't really want a Cincy sermon. They just want to see what worked for you. They don't really need a flyer. A lot of times they just need a heart to heart. A lot of times we think we have to prepare so much for our teams, write programs for them. And I love to write programs, create systems for them. And I love systems. We feel like we need to do all this stuff for them, but in reality, they just want to know you're on this journey with them. They just want to be recognized and they want to feel seen. They want to see what you're up to. They want to see your junky drawers, your messy office. They want to see what didn't work for you. They also want to see what did. They want to hear your stories, your funny stories, your embarrassing Cincy stories. They want to hear your wow moments, your aha moments. They want to know about what it is that makes you so passionate about this journey. And that is going to inspire them, in my opinion, so much more than you preparing this Cincy outline to give them the Cincy sermon, okay? And I love to train, but I'm telling you, my team at their core, they don't expect me to be the expert. They just want to know that I notice whenever they hit that big milestone, or they just want to see that I'm there for them when they are discouraged or when they are confused, okay? All right, so when I'm talking about requiring action, I mean doing something, a little something every single day. I'm all about taking some Sundays off, but the other 6 days of the week, I'm doing something Cincy. Sometimes that means I'm, working my own personal business. Other times that means I am reaching out to hostesses and customers and downline and directors. And I've got a big, big group under me. And so I have to divide that time wisely. And the more people I get, the more I feel like I need to be on my A game as far as managing them and making sure I'm not getting too bogged down with one people group and forgetting another people group. There are so many different systems. I have a ton that I use, not a ton, but I have a few that really work for me. I feel like a lot of SSDs have put their systems out. This isn't a systems training, so I am not going to go into that. But I just want you to know that I think you probably need to get something in place so that you are able to balance. Because if you're struggling to find time to do Cincy well at the title that you are, then asking you to add on the extra people that it takes to be a director is going to require a little bit more of you. So I feel like you need to get to the place where you are moving and grooving in a good way to the tune of where you are. And a system's going to make that a healthy balance. And making sure that you are hitting the people groups that you want to every single week. I know that I want to talk to my hostesses. I know I want to talk to my potential recruits. I know I want to talk to my new website online orders. I know I want to touch my team and talk to my new consultants. I know I want to talk to my directors. I want to talk to my superstar directors that are under me. I have so many people that I want to talk to and I want to serve. And I just use systems to help make sure I'm funneling my time in the right areas so that on Friday, I know I've maybe at least been able to focus in each area like I should. Oh my gosh. I could go on and on, you guys. I'm going to cut it right here because I know that you guys have more amazing trainers coming behind me to talk about systems and time management and organization, all those things. So I tried to really keep it simple to goals versus dreams. I want you to look into your purpose. I want you to look into your people, not just that you are aligning with and that you're talking to, but that the people that you get to serve as well. And then I want you to sit down and write yourself an action plan. What does your Mondays need to look like to be able to get you from where you are to director? What do your Tuesdays need to look like? What are you doing on Wednesdays? When's your date night? Yeah, your date night. When's your no Cincy time? When's your self-care massage or your self-care bubble bath or your self-care hike? Just make sure you know the way. When is your time for yourself? When is your time for your directors, time for your team, time for your customers? Have it mapped out and try your best to stick to it for at least 21 days and see what happens. edit it, change it up, maybe reach out to someone that you admire in Cincy and see if they have a system that they would share with you. But I really feel like that you've got everything you need up here and in here. Okay, so I'm done, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Keep me posted on your journey. I am pretty honored that I got to talk to you and hopefully be a little bit a part of the inspiration that helps you hustle to director. All right, love you guys. Bye.